Hey guys, hope you're all okay. You join me inside. I know this isn't normal for me to be inside, but it's so windy outside. Still, I think this whole week's going to be windy. The weekend it was super windy, as any of you guys that live in the UK will know. And this weekend we've got another storm coming called Dennis. Oh God, so yeah, it's super windy. There's no way I'm not worried about riding in the wind, but trying to make a video is not easy when you stop. The wind noise is terrible. So I'm going to run over all of my gear. Camera gear, battery packs, mics, anything I can think of to help any of you guys out there that are thinking of making a video and that want to set up a GoPro just for your own personal use, or maybe you want to make a video on YouTube, send it to your mates, whatever. If I can run through everything that I have and do the best I can at explaining the gear I've got, hopefully to some of you guys it'll be of some help. I'm sure any of you guys that aren't into me talking about my gear and what I've got, you might as well turn this video off now, because you'll probably be asleep in about 2 minutes, because it will be a bit boring. But I've had lots of requests to make a video about how I make my videos, the sound, etc, etc. So let's run over everything I've got. I'm going to run over my road bike setup, which is the AGV there, in a minute. Then I'm going to run over my off-road setup, which is my Alpine style helmet there. And I've also got my chest mount, which I use on my e-bike, my e-mountain bike. So I'm going to cover as much as I can about filming, whether it's push bikes, dirt bikes, road bikes, whatever I can get across to you guys. Any questions, give us a shout. I've probably got most of this stuff already linked in the description of the video, so do check that out if you want to buy any of the gear that I'm talking about. Check that out. If not, just ask me and I'll send you a link, and I'll do my best to answer whatever I can. So right guys, as you can see, the mount I've used here on my road helmet, the AGV, is stuck just on the side there because these helmets are so pointy it's impossible to mount one on the front. As I've worked out over the years of using GoPro mounts, the ones that are mounted on the side, unless you use an internal mic, as in inside the helmet, they're super noisy. When you mount these on the front, yes, I've got my mic plugged in here, I'll talk about that in a minute, but try and keep the camera mounted around the front. So this is just lots of different brackets, as you can see there, look, just bolted together. Just quite simple really, nothing too complicated. It's just trial and error. This casing, this housing, isn't obviously waterproof. It's just a frame with a protector over the lens in case a stone flicks up. That's obviously for dry weather. So yeah guys, if it's wet or I think it might rain, I use the waterproof housing. I've had to cut a little hole in the side so that the mic, which attaches into the side of there, can go into it. It's not totally waterproof, but I've ridden with this in the rain and it's been fine. And my mic goes up inside the helmet, tucked inside the cheek pad, so it's right out of the way. It is a tiny little Sony mic. That's what the writing's for. This is my spare one. It's all a bit grubby. There's a link to this in my description, but that's what I've used for years and it's been fine. I do actually, if you don't mount it inside the cheek pad, you want to put some little foam covers over the ends of these to stop the wind noise as well. But once it's tucked away inside your helmet, you're not going to be picking up any wind noise at all. So really good setup. I have stuck with the Hero 4 and I've not been that tempted to upgrade to a 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, because this does the job. I think some other guys, I think maybe Richie V has stuck with a Hero 4 Black. It's brilliant. Sound quality, I can't fault it. You know, it hasn't got image stabilisation built into it, but the imagery, you can see in my videos, is pretty good. It's not the best, I'm not a professional, but it's okay. So any of you guys getting into this, find a second-hand Hero 4 Black. Hero cameras, like the 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever they are, will all do 4K, I think. But I film in 1080p, 60 frames a second. I've got Pro Tune turned on with a few little tweaks, but that's not that important. So yeah, I've stuck with the Hero 4. So any questions on that, give us a shout. But that, you can see there, I've got a bit of tape. I taped the mic lead down there, just so it doesn't flap around in the wind. But that's it, guys. Really, that is my setup. That's my center. So ignore that. That's nothing to do, obviously, with my with my camera. Yeah, and always make sure, you know, that might look like it's pointed up in the air, but you always ride with your head down, always. So that will be straight. Always point the camera upwards on a motorbike, because if not, you'll be filming the ground, and it's so annoying when you watch a video when someone's been filming the ground for about 20 minutes. So yeah, guys, any questions on that, give us a shout. That's my road setup. Right, guys, this is my off-road setup. This is my Alpinestar Supertech M8 helmet, and it's definitely a better quality than the last helmet I was using, which was a cheapish KTM one. This is a lot more expensive, but a lot safer in an accident. Lighter, it's just carbon Kevlar, I think, if I'm right. Really, really comfortable, so I would recommend it as a helmet, definitely, if any of you guys doing off-road. And obviously it hasn't got a visor, you have to wear goggles, but we're not talking about that at the moment. So yes, guys, I use my Hero session camera on this crash helmet. I obviously don't use both of these setups at once. I've put them both on here just to give you an idea of what I use, because some people will prefer to mount their camera on a sticky mount there, under the visor. You can control these with your voice to turn them on and off. Also, I can see the light flashing when I record as I'm looking out from under from my goggles. The sound quality, as in my voice pickup, isn't as good on this as it is on the chin mount. So I've got this cheap Chinese import chin mount. I'll put a link in the description to what it is. It just clips around the front. I've not done that very tight as I would normally have it. I'll just put it on to show you guys. And obviously that's pointing up, but obviously when you ride, you're always looking down. So obviously that'll be a flatter image. So yes, guys, some of the trips in Wales, we've filmed loads with these cameras. All the footage you'll see is always from these Hero Session cameras. I found out recently by shoving this foam sock thing, wind protector around the camera, it pretty much gets rid of all the wind noise. Like, it's amazing for about £5. Bit expensive for a piece of foam, but this stops all the wind noise. It might look a bit stupid, but it doesn't affect the camera in any kind of way, because the camera's still waterproof, but it's brilliant. So yeah, anyone with a session camera, obviously these haven't got an external plug for the mic, so everything you say is picked up by the camera, not by the mic inside the helmet. I didn't mention that, I should have said that, sorry. So yeah, guys, people do use the Hero 4.5s and whatever for off-roading, but I just like the fact that these are really waterproof, no leads running around, they pick up the sound quality really good. I put a link to the playlist of our trip in Wales, and all the footage you'll see was filmed by one of these, but not with this foam on. Next time we go to Wales in May, I'll be doing this, and the sound quality will be even better with zero wind noise pretty much because of this foam sock. I don't know if you can see, I've got a crack. You probably can't because of the light, but there's a crack in this just there. Gary flicked a stone up at me off his street triple. I've actually got on it now a little screen protector. They're from, I'll put a link in the description. They're little glass covers that you stick over the front of the screen. I've got to do this to that one. I haven't done that one yet, but they're brilliant because, yeah, I know, even with the crack in the screen, it's not across the middle of the lens, but it is annoying. So that little, you can hear it's glass, listen. That little thing, cover, that'll crack before it cracks your lens. You can replace these lenses by taking those little Allen key bolts out, but it's a pain in the bum doing that, so I would get a little screen protector. So guys, anyone doing any off-roading, just wants a simple camera, you cannot buy these now, brand new. I think the link in the description to these, it might not exist anymore, but GoPro used to sell these second-hand, refurbished, with a year's warranty for about £150. There might be some left, I'm not sure, but check out, I think it was Amazon. See if you can find, but there's those people selling them second-hand. But yeah, just get a second-hand one, but don't spend more than 150 quid on them. They used to be 200 and something, but 150, 120 quid's probably about right for these as a second-hand camera. But I love them off-roading, but I think when we go to Wales, I'm going to ditch this whole chin thing set up, because you knock it and it's really wobbly, and I think it's in the way if you fall. I think having it mounted up there is going to be a better idea. So I'm going to try that in Wales with that foam sock on. So guys, yeah, you can see how it looks. It's just a sticky flat mount under there. Obviously some peaks aren't as flat underneath as that, so you might not be able to do that, but this chin bracket mount can fit any helmet easy, so that is your option. But definitely get this sock if you're using a session camera, because it blocks out all the wind noise. It's absolutely superb, really, really good. This one is turned upside down, you probably noticed. Can you see that? Obviously the button is underneath, but I've got it set to automatic. So when you spin the camera around, it automatically changes the view to whichever way up it is. You can do that on the Hero 4, 5, 6, 7s, and you know, that's not a big deal to do, but you've got to remember to do that, because if you just shove it in upside down, you'll have a very upside down video to watch, which you can spin round in editing, but it's just a faff you don't need to faff around with. So, all right guys, any questions on these mounts for this helmet, for this off-road helmet, give me a shout. I've also got some of these little pivot mounts that you could use, and that you can move because they run a little pivot in there. Can you see that? So yeah, they're really good. They're really, really sturdy. You can mount them on the side of your helmet there if you want to, and do that, but they're fiddlier to turn on and off. They pick up masses of wind noise. I've done that before. They're a nightmare. Wind noise on videos is, to me, I'll just turn the video off if it's got bad wind noise. I'm just not interested. It drives me absolutely mad. So yeah, that's my off-road helmet. My road helmet there. Any questions on the setup of those helmets with the cameras, guys? Anything at all? One thing to remember, try and get everything as much as you can officially from GoPro, because some of these mounts and bits, they just break. I've got some of these housings, and actually this is quite a sturdy looking one, but I've had some before and they're so flimsy, they just snap there. These aren't official GoPro ones. I'll put a link in the description to where I got these from, but they're from Amazon. You get a bloody finger stuck. Get out. Hang on. Finger was stuck in it. So guys, any questions on the off-road setup or the road setup, camera-wise, wires, cables? I'm not an expert, but I will do my best to answer everything you ask me. Right, so that's the off-road one, that's the road one. Just going to run over this quickly. For any of you guys into cycling, you can actually use this, I guess, on a motorbike. I've not tried it before, but I use this on my e-mountain bike. It's brilliant. It's an official GoPro chest mount, very, very comfortable, very adjustable. I just shove the session camera in there. Obviously, again, it's pointing up, because when you're pedaling on your, grabbing your handlebars, you are leaning forward, and obviously that needs to be another thing to remember. Always point it up. You can see that is pointing upwards. So won't run over that too much, but it's brilliant. I've had some, I'll put a link to the video now of us at Cannock Chase on our e-mountain bikes, and all the footage was recorded either by my session camera in this or my bro's session camera. So check out that video if you're into e-mountain biking or mountain biking in general, or even road riding. I guess you could use this for road riding. I guess even someone commuting to work, if they're in an accident or something, just to have this recording their journey. Just put it on, press record, and it could be used for that. But yeah, chest mount's brilliant. Not much more to say about that, because yeah, there's nothing else to say about it. It just is what it is. But yeah, on the e-mountain bikes, it's been superb. I've got an official GoPro sucker mount, which is super strong. We've used this in a couple of videos in the van, and I think we used it when my bro borrowed an Aston Martin V8 Vantage. I think we had that stuck to the windscreen in the car. I think we did. But I've never mounted this outside the car. I think it's tested up to 120 miles an hour. But yeah, we just whack it on the windscreen, bang, and then it's just superb, stable. I've also used this more recently. I'll put a link to it now on the V2 Panigale video. This was actually stuck on the fairing. So when it cuts from my Hero 4 camera to the secondary camera, it was actually this. It was stuck on the side facing forwards, which is not like that, but the other way around, on the V2 Panigale. And it was brilliant. It doesn't mark the bike, says putting brackets on the handlebars. So I use that on sports bikes if I do any test reviews. It's really, really good, but it's not meant for that. Obviously, it's meant for car windscreens and external panels of cars, I think, but it's superb. Really, really good. The other thing that I have used before on some of my videos is this little handlebar mount. It's an official GoPro one. I think it's called a handlebar mount. You just literally clamp it round the handlebars, just push that in there, he says, and just spin the wheel, and it just, and then you mount in, I guess you just use one of these to mount in there on the handlebars of, okay, you're doing a push bike, I guess. I've actually used this on my mountain bike before. but it's better with a chest mount because it's a little bit, just when you get off the bike you're still videoing rather than having it static on the bars. But yeah, this is brilliant for motorbike handlebars if you don't want to use haven't got a sucker mount. So official GoPro handlebar mount is what I use. So that's that and that. And all these other bits and pieces. I've used this on holiday with a selfie stick with a session camera. It's a waterproof housing for snorkeling, diving. I'm not sure what the pressure depth is for this, but I've used that for snorkeling and that's been brilliant. It was cheap, Amazon. Right guys, let's just run over all the other bits and pieces that I can think of to talk about that you might be interested. I always keep this Anker charger with me because the downside to the session cameras is you can't take the battery out to charge it. So I've got 2 cameras, so I'm lucky, and I do put one of them on the rear of my KTM sometimes, but obviously if you stop for lunch you can charge it by using this power pack. So always keep a power pack with you, that's what I would say anyway. My memory cards, I think it's better to have lots of smaller size memory cards and some huge ones, because if something goes wrong with a file or something just happens and you can't use it, you lost so much footage. So I normally use there's one there, look, 32 gig Extreme Plus card, and they've never ever let me down. Fast to upload, really really good. I've got a real mixture anyway, so I keep them in this little waterproof case in my bag, but always have a spare memory card, 100% important. I've got masses of Hero 4 batteries. Some of these are really really old. The best ones I've found are either the Anker ones, or probably even better I would say the Duracell ones. They come in a double pack. They're not expensive, they're on Amazon. Just search Hero 4 battery. Obviously these batteries do not fit the Hero 5, 6, 7, 8 cameras, or even the Hero 3. I think they're just specific for the Hero 4 camera. So there's my little charger, charges 3 at once, just USB charger. That's brilliant. I keep a lot of my stuff in these little cases, just the cameras when I'm travelling. I've got a massive load of spare brackets, sticky mounts. That's my spare mic. That's the little foam thing that I put over the end of the mic if I'm using it in the AGV helmet. Guys, I put a picture now of the camera that I'm filming on, and it's a Sony WX500, I think that's what it is. Cybershot. It's been brilliant. I used this at Hawkstone Park. Obviously it's not waterproof, but it's got better sound quality. The phones are rubbish. If you ever do a walk around of a bike or anything do not film on your phone. It's totally pants. The pitch quality is good, but sound quality is awful, really bad. So yeah, having a good external camera. This was second hand off eBay, I think. It was pretty much brand new. Don't know how much it was, 150 quid. So I use this for anything you see me doing a walk around video at Ducati on some of the bikes. This is what I use, the one I'm filming on now. Guys, I think that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else. As I said, any questions, give us a shout. The weather's been so bad, I haven't been out on my bikes for a while. I've made half a video of my 300 TPI about owning it for a year, and I've not finished it off yet because it's been bad weather. I also got knocked off my push bike by a moron who opened his car door on me, and I went absolutely flying through the air. Had a helmet on. I was on my normal road bike. It's a Trek. Wasn't my e-bike. Covered in bruises. Had an X-ray on my elbow. Wasn't chipped or fractured, but I was so sore for about a week. So I could hardly walk, let alone ride a bike. So I've been out of action. I feel better now. I'm just covered in bruises, as some of you guys might have seen on Instagram, but yeah, I did bent the guy's car door. I rode off to work, but yeah, he would have a bigger bill than I had, as in my bike was fine, but his car door wasn't. But it was totally his fault. In the dark, didn't look, did the old thing. Oh, sorry, mate, I didn't see you. Well, I know that, mate, because you opened your car door on me. Cheers. So I'm fine, guys. Back on the bike soon. I've got a Street Fighter coming in March at Ducati Cambridge. More off-roading videos. We're going to Wales in May. Yeah, so lots of stuff coming up. I thought I'd do this video while it was mega windy outside. It's boring, but I've got it out there now. So any of you guys have got any questions? It all seems quite simple, but if you're going to make a video, my theory is make it well. Don't try and bodge it. Either do it properly or don't do it. Because if you're going to put it on YouTube, people will not watch it if the quality's bad. It has to be decent quality. That's my opinion anyway, guys. So right, yeah, I'll put some links at the end of this video of the Wales trip. That's when we used the Hero session camera that was mounted on the chin. And I'll also put a link to the V2 Panigale video, which was filmed with this helmet, with that camera. Right, guys, hope you enjoyed this vid. Any questions, as I said, give me a shout on anything you want to ask. As boring as it might be, just ask me. I'll always answer every question. No problem at all. I'll probably see you next on the CB1000R or the 300 TPI. I need to do a test ride video of my brother's Street Triple RS as well, which I've not done. So that's coming up soon. Anyway, all right, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.